Project Zomboid Build 42 dropped with a massive surprise for players. The developers expanded the skybox to fit towering skyscrapers, changing the game's landscape in a big way. One of the standout additions? The Bateman office building, a 17-floor behemoth packed with 9 unique floor plans to explore and loot. But I'm not just here to give you a tour, I'm taking on one of the hardest spawn challenges I've ever faced. I'll be starting at the very top and fighting my way down through the zombie-filled hallways. And maybe, if I'm lucky, I'll even escape the building. But before we dive into that chaos, let's take a second to meet someone who has a little insight into the Bateman office building. And he'll give us just a little tiny bit of a tour as we go along. Alright everybody, this is our little guy. He's gonna be our tour guide. His name is Carter Driver. Say hello to everybody, Carter.
Hello!
So, we're going to go through, essentially, each of the floors as we get to them in the video. So, first off, we have the executive office area. This is kind of the big CEO penthouse type deal. We got a big hallway, a receptionist type desk, and then we got the big office here with the big computer and all the leather chairs and everything. It's actually quite nice. It's got nice potted plants. We got ourselves some paintings. There's a big safe here. I don't know how to get into it. It's probably just decoration, but it's kind of cool that it's there. Upstairs of the big CEO executive office, we got ourselves some more hangout spots with a TV, and then we got ourselves a bedroom. And the bedroom itself is going to have its own types of loot. This will probably be where we get most of our sleep during the nights. We go over here, we got ourselves a bathroom with a shower. So you could tell at least the CEO was definitely living here. As well as a full kitchen with a fridge, an oven, sink. So there'll probably be some items here. The spawns aren't going to be the same for our regular character in this run. Aside from that part of the building section, we have this outer patio area, in which this is probably where we're going to start, and it's going to be lots of fighting. Lots and lots of fighting the undead, and when I say fighting, it's most likely going to be us trying to get them to fall off this ledge. So we'll tune into our guy and see how he does. Alright everybody, welcome to the Skyscraper Challenge. We are at the Bateman Towers. I think that's what it's called. And we got ourselves our boy, Munch Big Back, because he's a big boy, he likes to eat a lot of food. And Munch Big Back himself is ready for the apocalypse. At least he thought so. He climbed all the way up here, and what he has for supplies is a gun, some bullets, his ID card, a badge, and that's really it. Now, I'm not going to be crazy enough to fire off my gun in the first 10 seconds, am I? Now, this video was supposed to be different when I was making it. I was going to do an active commentary over gameplay and just try to see how long I could go and hope that maybe I could do it all in one shot. I figured I had enough Zomboid experience that maybe I could get to the bottom of this skyscraper. Maybe I could see this victory all in one go and I could do it all in one video and just capture lightning in a bottle, but that's not what happened. I'm not a lucky person. And I'll show you every single build that I did, every character I made, all the mods I used, and so forth, so you can get an idea of what I was dealing with. And I was just going based off this challenge. I was trying not to exploit any game mechanics or even use mods to give myself an edge. And, well, things kind of took a turn for the worst before I even could comprehend what kind of challenge I even signed up for. Oh, no, 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 no! I should have known better. I should have known better. I didn't save my build. I'm gonna have to do it all over again. Now, the concept of this challenge to me was supposed to be easy. It was just get from one part of the map to the other part of the map with hordes of zombies in between, and hopefully I could fight my way out with whatever weapons I could get. But I really had to think on my toes. I had to really calculate the build that I was using to get through this building, because item spawns in this building were very different from the common item spawns that you would find from a regular Zomboid run. Alright, before I hop in, here's my list of perks. I don't know if they're the same as the ones I read out before. I'm not going to reread them again, but there might be a difference. Who knows? Okay, I'm going to push play, and then we're going to turn around immediately to be greeted by all these zombies. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a plot twist, right? Oh, I can't open the door. Okay. We're going to let them walk towards us. God damn it. Alright, so I tweaked some stuff, but only because I wanted Adrenaline Junkie, just so I could actually deal with those zombies a little bit faster. I feel like I need more movement speed. Of course, I could give myself more fitness, but that would mean I'd have to lose my slow metabolism, which is going to be keeping us from losing too much weight and starving to death. So, I guess we go to our next attempt. I swear we're cursed, because the second I spawned in, before I even hit pause, I could hear a TV, which means a bunch of zombies are going to be attracted to wherever that sound is coming from. Oh, we're short-sighted and I didn't bring glasses. I forgot to put prescription glasses on. Alright, so there's something important I have to talk to you about. And this being the third attempt at this challenge for me, it also being the best of the 3 attempts, it taught me a valuable thing about this challenge. Most of the zombies that spawn in are going to be the things that give us our weapons. Most of the cupboards and drawers and stuff in this building, since it's an office building, are only going to contain things like pens and pencils for weapons, and that's useless. So we're going to be reliant on whatever the zombies have on their person, which is either guns or blades. Sometimes axes, sometimes blunt weapons, but mostly short blades and guns. And in a challenge where we're stuck in one building, guns are a death sentence, and short blades break really easily. And to just go back to item spawning in general, we have to talk about food real quick, because these top 2 floors only have 1 kitchen. And the next 3 floors we descend down don't have a kitchen at all. Not even the 4th floor that we descend down has a kitchen. That is its own death trap, death sentence floor. And we'll get into it because I'm about to show you another little quick tour piece that I made myself. The next area after we've cleared off the executive office area is this kind of hotel apartment area. It's got the 2 nightstands, the table with the chair. This is more or less a hotel area. Every single one of them has their own bathroom, but you're not really going to have luck finding too much loot here aside from books. Most of these little drawers don't spawn anything at all, and we'd be lucky to find anything at all in these trash cans. This goes on for about 3 floors, so it'll be a downward battle that really is going to require us to just constantly be fighting zombies and just trying to ration our supplies until we get to the next area. Now for our little guy to give us a tour of the next area, and right off the bat we have this choke point. This choke point's going to be a little intense. We'll be able to see down to the bottom floor below this one, because the bottom floor is the restaurant area, and the restaurant area needs to have high ceilings for some reason, just to keep it fancy. So as we go down from this bottleneck area where we're probably going to fight a lot of zombies, we got 2 real big points of interest. We've got ourselves the fancy restaurant area with a grand piano and lots of tables and chairs. That also comes with this big kitchen, which will have hopefully food, and this freezer room that will definitely have food. After that, we've got ourselves these narrow hallways that will have things like bathrooms in them. Maybe we'll find supplies in these bathrooms, maybe we won't. Followed by the bar. Now, this is not a fancy restaurant, and the bar itself is going to have its own loot, mostly alcoholic beverages, but there is a jukebox here. That's a nice little display piece. When we go behind the bar, obviously there'll be lots of alcohol for our character to consume, which will give us calories. It just might not be enough to survive, and honestly, the calories from drinking alcohol is going to have its own downside, because as we consume alcohol, we're going to be impaired, fighting and visually. So it's going to affect combat if we try to rely on drinking in order to maintain our caloric intake. Now that was pretty informative, wasn't it? Let's see how this attempt actually panned out. Ooh, not looking good. All right, this time we're gonna swap it up a little bit. I think our boy is just not capable of doing what I need him to do right now. Like, I'm thinking way too late in, and I need to think about the early stuff first, and then the way too late in. Like, I'm still taking Whittler, but I wanted to go with a class that's gonna give us some short blades, since that seems to be the abundant item we're going to find on all these zombies. And we will call this class Flippin'. Alright, everybody, this is our new character. His name is Timmy Bigback. He's a brother. He's a brother to our last character. That's all I can say about him. But I just crawled out of the basement to get here. Let's see how well he does. No! Oh my god, are we... You gotta be joking! This just isn't it. Oh my god. Well. It's not looking good for us, guys. I'm gonna try again. This is not it. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have so much footage to edit. Alright, let's try this again. Get rid of all these little UI things. That is more than usual, I think. It was at this point I actually just stopped doing commentary while playing the game for the most part. I'd eventually start to say stuff again, but I needed to lock in. I really needed to get through this beginning area and get down the stairs. I achieved it at least once so far out of all my attempts, and I wasn't gonna just sit here and let these zombies beat me. So I just focused. I focused as hard as I could, and I tried my best. And the second I was actually able to get to a point where I could feel safe, I took as much time as I could to just prepare myself for the next few floors, because I knew that it was going to be a slugfest from here on out. Now, remember how I was talking to you guys about weapons? I want to talk to you about Shortblade, because playing this challenge taught me something very important. Shortblade is the easiest way to level up maintenance as a stat. I've played short blunt, long blunt, spear, axe. I've done all of those. I've neglected blades purely out of the fact that every single time I've watched a YouTube tutorial talking about how to play Project Zomboid, they've talked about blades actually being more harmful than good. They're weak weapons, they break really easily, and they rip the clothing of the zombies that you're fighting. But I've come to realize that Blades leveling up maintenance gave me exactly what I wanted. More durable weapons late game. So, if anybody needed to have any proof that Blades actually can be a useful item aside from stealth builds, this is the challenge that will teach you that. So, start using Blades more often. You'll probably discover a whole new way of playing the game itself. You'll also probably die a bunch the first few times you do it, but I mean, it's kind of worth it. I mean, trying out a whole new playstyle of an already existing game you probably have 100 hours in. Hell, I probably have commenters that have thousands of hours in this game. But have you tried Blades yet? So I went back to the drawing board and decided I needed to reinvent Timmy Bigback's image, tweaking his stats, his traits, just who he is in general, even his physical demeanor. I needed him to be more edgy looking. We needed that 90s fuckboy look. We gave him that little spiky goatee with the blonde spiky gelled back hair with the wife beater and the jeans. And then wait a second. Damn it. I realized I accidentally loaded an old save, so I had to reinvent Timmy's image, and I had to recreate his character sheet and just come up with all those stats again, just to launch him into the world, just to see if the edgier version of Timmy could survive out in the wilderness with all those zombies on that roof, constantly charging, hundreds per window, millions per second. It's just an endless escapade of the undead. They're just never ending. It just never stops, no matter what. Build 42 is literally just endless zombies, the game. And then look at that, look at it. We're doing great. Pushing them off, walking around, just being a jerk to them, stomping their face in. And, you know, see that little zombie there? He's got a little holster on him. We're going to kill this zombie right here, right? And then we're going to take the holster and then put our gun on it. See, look at that. Now we look like a 90s action movie hero. Like we're Brad Pitt over here on top of a building, just stomping zombies' faces in. And we're just going to keep doing this little cycle bit. And we think we're safe. Everything's fine. This has been a good attempt so far. We start blasting. Maybe the noise will attract more zombies that I can throw off the roof. And that was my biggest mistake that I made this entire run. Was trying to get the attention of more zombies. Even though this building already had it. That, like, look at that. I'm calling out to them. I'm like, hey, come here. I'm dinner. And look where this gets me. Look where that mentality gets me. See that horde right there? Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to end well. God damn it. Before we even get into attempt number 8, let's check out the office area. Alright, so this floor right here is kind of a buffer floor. There is points of interest here that are going to help us with our survival, but for the most part, as you can see, there's bathrooms, this office space area, this executive office area, and these meeting rooms. There isn't too much aside from that. Nothing really here to give us too much substance. Like, as you can tell, yeah, it's just a viewing area for the meeting room. And this is more just space taken up by furniture than anything else. The real things that are going to make getting down to this floor worth it is this water cooler, as well as the possibility of finding more food in these drawers and this fridge. Now for the next floor on our little tour, we got ourselves the for-lease office area. This is one of the few floors that has absolutely nothing of interest, mostly just desks and supplies that we could use to barricade our surrounding, if we need to. Over here we do have ourselves another break area, but as you can tell from me looking right now, there really isn't anything for food in this area, so this is more just empty space for zombies to crowd around. There are vending machines, but I'm not too sure that the vending machines are really going to spawn too much. Like, this one just spawned chips here for us with our little tour guide. But aside from that, this floor is not going to give us anything at all. The next couple floors are just going to be office areas with the exact same design as this one. The difference being it actually is furnished. So we'll go down real quick and I'll show you what I mean. As you can see, there are offices and various things. We'll go in, get a better look at some of these rooms. These rooms are going to hold more substance, but as you can tell, we are starting to get to that point where each floor that we fight for is going to just give us minimal amounts of supplies compared to the restaurant floor. So every single new floor that we achieve is going to be a race against the clock. Now, when I say attempt number 8, do you think that this was recorded within a span of multiple days? It wasn't. All the attempts leading up to attempt 8 and attempt 8 were all recorded in one day. I had spent nearly 10 plus hours just trying to figure this tower out without sleep. It was getting late. I was getting into the next day already. By the time this specific one ends, it was already 3:30 in the morning. I was exhausted, mentally just drained, but I kept thinking about this challenge. Every single second of this challenge that I was pushing through, I was making more and more progress doing it, even as I deprived myself of natural human necessity. And I couldn't help myself. I kept going, and I'd get bigger rewards, like finding a metal baseball bat. That thing was the best blunt weapon I found, and as I got my maintenance up by using bladed weapons and focusing on that bat took out so many zombie hordes when I was just done dealing with the sheer trickling amount of zombies that just kept coming. And I'd get to that choke point right before the restaurant and the bar area like 30 times in all of my playthroughs, and then I just keep having to go back upstairs because another large horde would come. It is just an endless, almost zombie mosh pit, and it literally drove me insane because it's like every time I thought I'd make progress, I was right back where I started. It's almost like real life if you think about it. But here I am making all this progress, and eventually I'd start getting better supplies off the zombies because the zombie spawns started changing as well. Before, I'd get these touristy looking zombies in bathrobes, these mafia looking zombies, but now I was starting to get zombies that had backpacks, janitorial supplies on them. I was finally starting to get long blunt and short blunt weapons off the zombies, but it was super rare. And fighting to even get to those zombies to get the weapons off of them was a nightmare. So I want you to imagine that for a second, I finally found peace, and I looted the restaurant and the bar and carried everything up all the way to the top, and I just unpacked everything, rested till my character's moodles went away, and then decided, all right, now that all of our moodles are cleared, we could go back in, we could fight all the zombies, and we're just gonna get through the office floors. I think I could do it, and I'm so wrong. I was so dead wrong. Like, I want you to know that watching my character's hair grow and beard grow, and then having to shave it, and still not be below the bottleneck area in the restaurant, it was starting to slowly drive me mad. So here's how I died. Okay, so next on our tour of the Skyscraper, we got ourselves another zombie choke point. This is going to be the part where when we go down from this office floor, which has the lip of the balcony, any zombies that fall from the top floor are probably going to be here, and it's probably going to be a big fight between a lot of crawlers and me, because they're going to be on the outside, and the second I make too much noise, they're going to fight their way in. But even after we beat them, this is going to be like a huge crowding space for any zombies that are on the lower floors coming up. So getting past this point is going to be a constant little battle. But once we get in here, this floor does offer us a lot of reward. There is, in fact, a small little restaurant on this floor, kind of like the top floor restaurants. We got ourselves a large kitchen this time, with possibly lots of food supplies that we are going to desperately need. With 4 fridges and freezers, that's going to be a real big find, as well as all of this furniture that can be used for barricading. Once we come around here, we have ourselves this nice looking fountain, which we cannot drink from, but hey, you can always dream. We got ourselves a small bakery coffee shop type deal, and that's going to have its own food items as well that we can use to loot. But the thing that makes this floor a bit rewarding is down here in this bottom corner, we got ourselves the medical area. We got some magazines and stuff for entertainment, and this desk that offers nothing. But once we get into here, we got ourselves this, what looks like a dentist chair, but honestly, if you were to come in here, we got painkillers, alcohol wipes, and there's more medical supplies in the storage room as well. So this would be a big find if we were able to find antidepressants or beta blockers on our journey for fighting through this building. Now for the next floor.
When I went to bed that night, all I could think about was that tower. It's as if it was calling me. It's as if, like, if I only did one more run, right? Like, the next run had to be the one, right? I just had to do one more. One more run. Just one more go. Just one more go. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, can't we just do one more run? I mean, sleep's not that important, right? I mean, come on, let's just do one more run. You and me?
By the time I woke up the next day, I had already decided that I was going to do run number 9, and I was going to put all of everything that I had learned into this one run. I was going to make sure that this run would be perfect. Every single aspect of my being was going to see those bottom floors. I was going to get to a new area outside of those choke points and kill every single zombie in my way. Whether it be with an old can opener, a butter knife, or even just my bare hands and boots. I didn't care anymore. I was taking this tower and I was going to take it with me. We were going to get out of this. I'm different. I can do a challenge front to back in one sitting with no issue. I've got this. And at first I was starting to really feel like that was the case, because I really started to capture the top floor. I really, without any injury, without any hesitation, I started to do things at a more slower pace. Instead of rushing through the building, I decided to take more time to take care of my character and assess the resources that I actually had. I would eat food when necessary, I drink water every chance I could, and I would cycle through my supplies and just make sure I had enough weapons to deal with the next couple floors. Alright, so for the next 2 floors to 4 floors, we've got ourselves Cubicle Hell. Now, as you can see from these cubes, we do have like semi-break areas with these tables and chairs, but no more break room for a second. We do have technically a break room, but there will be no food supply. The next area of this challenge I had to conquer, finally own it, would be the hotel floor. The hotel floor, see, the trick with that floor is that all those side rooms, all those little suites, they don't mean anything. They don't matter. There's just full of stragglers, and once you've cleared them out, your main gauntlet is the staircase. The staircase is the main gauntlet of this entire Challenge. There's only one set of main stairs, and once you've gotten to those main stairs, that's all you will ever see, is the main staircase, full of zombies, bodies trailing up and down those stairs around every single corner, and I was going to make sure that no matter what, I picked up every single weapon off of every single corpse and every single bag that they dropped as well. Even if it was a fanny pack, as long as it had a chance of holding food or a weapon of any kind to benefit me on my slaughter down those stairs, then I was going to pick it up. And then once I finally got through the whole entire hotel area. All right, welcome. We got ourselves our next big floor that's going to be super helpful for us and is going to make this run a little bit more rewarding. Because once we get down to this floor, actually the bonus being both these floors, we have ourselves construction. And construction usually means blunt weapons. Not this one. This one's just paint. All right, now for the next part of our tour of the skyscraper, we have ourselves more office floors. And this goes on for about 4 floors. But the bonus perk of these floors is... Right, we find ourselves at what I'm going to call the final buffer floor. Now, as you can see... I wasn't done yet. I wasn't done yet at all. I had to conquer the bar and the restaurant again. I had to get every single little item out of those 2 rooms. Those 2 rooms that seemed to be my final goal in so many attempts. Every single time I got here, I could never get past it. So when I finally got to those 2 areas, I decided that maybe it would be best if I just shouted a bunch, just made a bunch of noise, made all the zombies from the lower floors, the buffer areas, the next office area come up the stairs, and I would finish them off there. Because I wanted to descend, I wanted to go down so bad, I wanted to get to the bottom of the skyscraper. But it seemed like every zombie that fell off the top floor of the skyscraper all collected at that lip of the skyscraper when it expands, and they all decided to get right back up and just come up the stairs. So it's like every single problem I tossed over the ledge of this building decided that it wasn't done with me. It was still my problem and I had to deal with it. So I went and took a rest after clearing out so many of the zombies, and I decided to descend the stairs. Descend the stairs. Last time. Okay, so we're here with the last of the offices, as far as I'm concerned, in the upper floors. These are going to be these are probably going to be filled with a lot of combat and a lot of zombies. Now, there isn't too many points of interest here for loot, except for one. I was finally starting to get towards a new area. All I had to do was just complete the walk. The offices were right there. And once I was in those, I was that much closer to the next milestone of the bottom floor. So I kept swinging and swinging and swinging, and I just kept baiting them up. There were so many of them, and I knew that freedom was getting closer with every single chop. We were so close. But the worst possible things happen when you don't expect it. I tried my best to run, but the second I tried to walk up the stairs during a back pedal with a swing, I misclicked and I ended up clicking the vending machine, opening up the inventory tab, and now I was bleeding out. I was gonna die here again. I failed another attempt. I couldn't believe it. So I figured I'd take things into my own hands. I'd make sure that our boy Timmy Big Back at least got to go out on his own terms with a smile on his face. I reascended every single floor that I could, hoping that maybe I could reach the top before the time limit ended so that I could choose how I went out, and then it was over. Another attempt. All right, we've hit the bottom floor and the last area of our tour. As you can tell, there isn't too much going on down here as far as interesting points of interest. There is this small bakery area, so there will be food spawn here. And as you could tell from the sheer amount of windows, there's a lot of entryways for zombies to climb through. Now, if we go over here, there is another break room area in that room. But the second we get down here, our goal is going to be getting in the parking lot and seeing if we can find a functioning car. And thankfully, there's a lot of cars to choose from, so we might get lucky. I mean, maybe we'll even find a key on the ground. Who knows? But ultimately, I don't want to end the challenge with us just getting to the bottom floor and giving ourselves a pat on the back. I'd like to find a vehicle and get out of Louisville. So, that is the finale of the tour. Let's see how this challenge finishes.